someone. So you turn to someone for advice, but you can also turn someone away. And usually that's when they come to you for help of some description, maybe advice. You could use this in a different way, but very similar way. I mean, turn to someone basically means go to someone when you need help. Turn someone away means tell someone to go away when they want help. So that's what I mean by these are opposites. So you might say, I usually turn to my brother for advice, or you might say something like, Mary and Joseph were turned away when they tried to find some space at the inn. Yeah, the innkeeper turned them away. He told them to go away when they needed help, when they wanted to stay in the inn. Okay, a little nativity story as it's Christmas time. Okay, if you keep up with someone, you maintain the same level. So this can be used literally or metaphorically. You could say that the runner, the sprinter, kept up with all the other competitors, all of the other runners. He didn't lag behind, he kept up with them, he stayed at the same level as them. But I could say it about students as well. If I have a class of 10 students, maybe one of them was lagging behind last year, he was behind the others in terms of his progress, but this year he is keeping up with the rest of the class. He is doing his homework, he's being very diligent, very responsible, and he's keeping up with his classmates. So lag behind would be the opposite, okay? It's when you don't keep up with someone. Fall behind is also the same, it's synonymous. So you could keep up with your mortgage payments, meaning that you're paying them on time. And you can also fall behind with your mortgage payments, meaning that you don't manage to pay every month, and so you've got to be careful because the bank might decide to take back your house and sell it. Okay, if you keep together, you stay in a group. If you split up, you're in a group and you go in different directions. So this is live teaching. So if you go in different directions, that we would say split up. Yeah, if maybe 5 people in one group and maybe they've lost someone, maybe there's a 6th member of the group that they've lost. So they decide to split up and look for that person who has got lost. Keep together would mean, you don't split up, you stay all together. Okay, if you sail through your exams or you breeze through your exams, it's usually for exams. It means you pass with flying colours, we say. You get the top marks. That's all it means. You get the top marks when you sail through your exams. And it sounds easy. It sounds like you had no problem at all getting the top marks. You breezed through your exams. You sailed through your exams. If you scrape through your exams, it means you only just manage to pass, to get a satisfactory mark. So scrape through. It's still successful, but it's not top marks. It's the very minimal mark. It means you managed to pass with the minimum mark, so only just managed to pass. If you breeze into a room, it sounds like you go into the room really calmly and confidently, without a care in the world for anybody else. You just breeze into the room. You're not paying anyone else any attention. You're calm, you're confident. Sounds quite positive to me. I'd say it would be the opposite of storm out of a room. If you storm out of a room, you are really angry with everybody. So you really do care about everybody else around you. So storm out, it's when you're in a bad mood and you leave a place in a real huff. But breeze into the room, it would be kind of go into the place and with a nice smile on your face, feeling good about yourself. Okay, if you go off someone, you stop liking them. Same for take against, exactly the same. Because go off someone, and you can go off something as well. You can say when she was pregnant, she went off chocolate. Maybe she stopped liking chocolate. But these two are both for people. Go off can also be someone or something. That's the difference. And I'd say that these are opposites of warm to someone. When you warm to someone or you take to someone, it means that you immediately start liking them. That they're a very likeable person, perhaps they're really quite charming, and you just immediately start liking them. So immediately start liking, immediately stop liking, and that's why I think they're opposites. Okay, if you turn something or someone down, that means usually it's refuse an offer. Yeah, if you turn down an offer, you refuse to take that offer. If you take someone up on an offer, you accept the offer. So you might say they offered me a job, but I turned them down, I turned the job down. Both are possible. You can turn someone down and you can turn an offer down. So turn the job down, turn them down, turn the job offer down. All of those would be possible, meaning refuse. But if you took them up on their offer, if you took them up on the job, and again, both work, that means you accept their offer of a job. So they're not quite the same because you've got the someone in there with the take, and you don't really have it with the turn. You just say you turned them down or you took them up on their offer. So they are slightly different, but one means accept an offer, one means refuse an offer. Okay, if you take someone on, you employ them. If you let someone go, you make them redundant, you get rid of them, so they fall out of your employment, they're no longer in your company, you let them go. It's a bit like lay someone off, which would be very similar. Let's put it down. Lay someone off is another way of saying sack someone. Well, it's slightly different from sack. It's make someone redundant, so they haven't done anything wrong, but the company can't afford to employ them anymore. They have to let them go, they have to lay them off. But the company's taken on 50 new employees. Okay, the tide first. The tide goes out and it comes in. We have a lot of tide in this town, and so this is one which I certainly teach because I need it. Twice a day, every day, the tide goes out and it comes in again. And this is because of the moon, I believe, and the gravitational pull of the moon and the gravitational pull of the sun as well on our oceans. And I believe it's also because the Earth is not a perfect sphere. It's not a perfect sphere, it's an oblate spheroid. It's wider at the equator than it is from pole to pole. And I believe that this also is a big influence on the tides. But if anyone's interested in that, they should read about it online. We've a lot of interesting information. But the tide goes out and it comes in. Sun and clouds, on the other hand, when we're talking about the sun going behind the clouds and the sun coming out of the clouds, we say that the sun goes in and the sun comes out. We'd say exactly the same for the moon, by the way. Moon is the same. The moon went in, it means it went behind the clouds. The moon came out, it means the moon came out from behind the clouds. Okay, so the sun goes in when it goes behind clouds, the sun comes out when it comes out from behind them. And even stars can go in and come out when the clouds are there. So whenever clouds are obscuring your vision of something, use these two. And they're opposites, of course. And I'll quickly do sunrise and sunset because they're very similar. Sunrise, the sun comes up at 7 in the morning and the sun goes down at 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, whenever it is. But we're talking about sunrise and sunset. Now, of course, I don't want to forget these ones. You can talk someone out of something and you can talk someone into something, meaning persuade. Oh, sorry, this one's persuade and this one's dissuade. You can dissuade someone or you can persuade someone. So you can persuade someone to do something or you can talk someone out of doing something. I hope they're clear. I mean, I think those ones are quite obvious ones. On to the next one, which is knock someone out, which would be a boxing kind of phrasal verb. If a boxer knocks out his opponent passes out, his opponent blacks out, his opponent loses consciousness. And of course, that's not good. We want to see a person conscious and not lying unconscious on the floor. So maybe after the boxer is knocked out, his friends or his manager or his teammates or whatever, someone in his boxing team, goes over to him to help bring him round or to help bring him to. And that means regain consciousness. And there are two more here which are intransitive. And bring is often transitive and come is often intransitive. But you can say the boxer's opponent came round a few seconds later, or you can say his opponent came to a few seconds later. Now, if you put something off, you delay it for a few days. You make it later than was planned. If you bring something forward, you make it earlier than was planned. So I might ask one of my students, I might say, I have to cancel that lesson on Saturday. Can I bring it forward to Thursday? Are you free on that day? Yeah, meaning bring it forward 2 days. But if I put it off 2 days, that would make it Tuesday, yeah? Can I put off the Sunday class until Tuesday? Okay, if you stay up, you stay awake. If you turn in, you go to bed. So remember that to turn in means to go to bed. So I usually turn in about 11 or 11:30. I don't stay up very late. But I know some people out there like to stay up very late and they don't turn in until 2 or 3 o'clock. If you eat out, you eat at a restaurant. If you eat in, you eat at home. Nothing difficult there. If you look down on someone, you disrespect them for some reason. Maybe you might say something like this: I look down on people who are lazy. Something like that. Yeah, meaning I don't respect people that are lazy. I think that they're not worthy of my respect. But if you look up to someone, it's the opposite. You respect them, you admire them. So I think a lot of people look up to their idols and their heroes from Hollywood or from their books or from their songs or whatever. We look up to these people, our idols. If you speed up, you go faster. If you slow down, you go slower. Very easy. If you throw off your clothes, you're taking them off. If you throw on your clothes, you're putting them on. But these just mean very quickly. And we have quite a few like this. You can fling off clothes and fling on clothes as well. Fling off, fling on. Throw off, throw on. You could even slip something off, I suppose. Slip off your jacket or something like that and slip something on as well. So there are loads of those ones which are like take off and put on, but with different verbs. And it would always be off and on. Slip off, slip on, throw off, throw on, fling off, fling on. If you take something out of your pocket, you fish it out as well. You can also say fish it out, which just sounds more like that. But you can fish something out as well as take out, and the opposite would be put something into your pocket. If you pick someone up, you go to their house, they get in your car, and then you take them somewhere. If you drop someone off, you go to their house, they get in your car, and then you take them somewhere and you drop them off. So drop off is at the end of the journey, pick up is at the start of the journey. He picked me up, and an hour later, he dropped me off at the airport. Okay, if Manchester United lose out to Chelsea, they lose. If Manchester United win out over Chelsea, they win. Not much more to add there. They're very similar to the ordinary verbs, win and lose. Win out over can often refer to emotions. When one emotion gets the better of another emotion, we say his anger won out over his guilt, something like that, or his fear won out over his desire. Something like that, meaning one emotion wins out over another emotion. That one's quite common. Okay, if you pick something up, you do this, you grab it from the surface, and if you put something down, you put it back on the surface. Very easy. If you run out of petrol, you need to go and fill up with petrol. Yeah, fill up your car with petrol. And if you blend in, nobody notices that you're there. Yeah, you're not easily distinguished from the other people. So if you blend in a crowd, it means nobody can see the difference between you and the other people in the crowd. Whereas if you stand out in the crowd, that means everybody can see you. Maybe you're wearing a bright orange and purple and yellow jumper, and everybody else is wearing suits. You will certainly stand out. You will certainly stick out like a sore thumb. And that's an English idiom, that one. Stick out or stand out. I should have written 2 verbs there. Stick out like a sore thumb means not blend in at all. Like stick out like a sore thumb. So not blend in at all. Okay, that's all I have for you for today. I will get that book out to everybody and make it available very soon. It will be on Amazon. I haven't come up with a price yet, but it won't be for nothing, especially because this time I'm paying for the illustrations to be put in there, and I'm also going to pay someone to do a nice layout for me for the book so that it doesn't look too bad. And I'm going to read through it a few times to try to get rid of all of the mistakes that are no doubt still hiding in there. Okay, thanks everybody for watching today. Please click like and subscribe and all of that kind of stuff if you enjoyed the class, and I hope to see you all soon.